Welcome back to another 3-Minute Thursday. This is a segment where I'm going to try to share with you a testimony in 3 minutes or less. We'll see how that goes. So today I want to share with you a testimony of when I was serving in East Africa. I lived over there for about 3 months, and I was in the middle of doing a program where basically you go to a different country every month and do ministry there around the world. So by this time that the testimony is happening, I was probably on month 7 or 8. So I'm been on doing this thing for quite a while. I'm kind of wrapping up my time. Tiredness starts to set in. You're kind of starting to long for like the comforts of your home country. You're kind of tired of living out of a backpack and like tent camping and doing all these kind of things. Like the novelty of like the fun and excitement is kind of worn off by this point. And so I remember there was a specific day that we were serving. We were going to go out and we were doing evangelism that month. We were doing evangelism and we were doing like ministry in a church that month. And so the majority of our week was spent going out, like knocking on people's doors and just sharing with them the gospel, which is super awesome. And I loved that part. But there was definitely one day where I was like, I'm not having it. I'm so tired. I just don't want to be here anymore. And so I was like, I'm going to stay back and pray today. And by stay back and pray, I think in my selfishness, I just wanted to stay back, hang out in bed and watch a movie. I was feeling tired. I'd had malaria the month before, typhoid the month before that. Like my body was just exhausted. I was kind of done and over things. I was missing home. But because I'm also a rule follower, I did say I will pray. And so I did pray. And I remember being in there like, all right, God, like cool, like bless our team as they go out, let there be some cool stuff that happens. And there's this moment that the Lord just stopped me and he said, Angela, pray right now. And he literally gave me a vision of this woman like in tears, like crying hysterically. And I'm like, okay, I'm praying for this woman. So like all of a sudden I'm like, I'm in it now. Like I'm excited to be praying. I'm like pumped. Like who cares about the movie? Like we're in this thing. Let's do it. And so I am spending my time on my knees praying, crying out for this woman and just praying like, God, like would our team that's out there today meet her? Like how incredible this would be. And so our team gets back and I'm like, hey guys, did you meet the woman? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, did you meet the woman? And they go, we have no idea what you're talking about. So I share with them what happened and they're like, we have no idea. Like we did not meet this person today. And I remember sitting there feeling just like so frustrated and feeling like almost let down. Like, God, you gave me this really cool moment for what? Mind you, I'm 21 at this point and like didn't know very much. And my walk with the Lord hadn't been super long, like an actually active walk with the Lord. And so in my like selfishness, I'm like, I wanted the cool story. Like, where's the story, Lord? Like I got on my knees and prayed and my team was supposed to go meet this person and they didn't. Like, what the heck? What happened? And God in all of his just grace and love is like, calm down, Angela. It's going to be okay. So the next morning I wake up and I'm not having it. I don't want to go out to ministry. I'm tired. I felt let down from the day before. Like I prayed and nothing happened and I just don't understand. And God like checked my heart and he's like, you're gonna go, like go do this thing. And I'm like, fine. And I can often be very sassy with the Lord. And as I'm reading through the Old Testament right now, I'm learning over and over and over again just how gracious the Lord is with us and like how merciful he is towards us. And like how many times in the Old Testament people were like, but God, I'm not equipped. And he's like, I'm literally calling you. Like, I've got you. Like how many times we say, but God, and then whatever your sentence is after that. And I had a but God moment. He's like, Angela, just go. Like, be out there, go and do what I'm asking you to do. I'm like, fine, I guess I'm gonna go out and do what you've asked me to do. And so I go out to ministry with my team and we knock on the first door and they're like, yeah, we're not interested in you guys, please go away. And like slam the door in our faces. And I'm sitting here thinking like, and this is why I'm coming out to ministry today. Like, what are we even doing? We go to the next house and they're like, yeah, we're kind of busy. Like, we already love Jesus, so thanks, but no thanks, bye. And another door is closed in our face. I'm like getting frustrated internally, like, and just having this monologue with the Lord, because like, I'm not letting him speak. I'm just speaking my mind. And like, I don't know why I'm out here. What's the purpose of all this? I don't understand. We go and knock on house number 3. We're talking with this man and like, just kind of having casual conversation. And then all of a sudden this woman comes out of the building next door. And I was sitting there thinking like, oh my gosh, that's her. That's the woman. She's disheveled. Her hair is everywhere. Her clothes are a mess. And I'm like, what is going on? And so we start kind of engaging in a conversation with her. We have a translator there in the dialect of the country that we're in. And so we're like, using the translator. We get to this one point in the conversation. I remember this so vividly because I was just like shock and awe. But like we get to this point in the conversation where our team is kind of talking amongst ourselves of like, what should we ask next? Like, where do we go with this? And she pipes in perfect English and starts talking with us, and we like all look over her, we're like, you speak English? And she's like, yeah, I do. You just didn't ask. And so, I just thought you wanted to use the translator. And we're like, oh my gosh. And at that moment, I feel like the whole conversation shifted. Like it was just such a Holy Spirit moment that we started kind of asking her some questions of like, what's going on in your life? Like what's happening in your world? Like, do you know Jesus? Blah, 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 all the things. And she starts sharing with us some just really incredibly hard and challenging things that are going on in her life, things that have happened to her, things that have happened in her family. And it was tough. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like it was a very heavy conversation. And like walking into that area, like we just felt this like heavy spiritual stuff. And it was like, man, there's something deep going on here. So as we were talking with her and learning more about her story, I'm seeing this unfold before my eyes, that there are 3 of us girls on this team that each share a similar portion of her story. So we were a team of 6. The other 3 were like, hey, they've got it. We're going to keep going on, because it's just kind of overwhelming to have that many eyes staring at one person. And I was so thankful that they understood, like, this is not our space. Like, you guys got it. We're going to go. And so they moved on. She invited us into her room, into her little area, and it was a mess. When we walked in, I was like, something happened here and I don't know what yet. So she continues to share with us. She continues to, share her story with us of what's happened. And I asked her, is like, what happened yesterday? And she said, well, actually, funny story. Yesterday, I tried to end my life. And I cried out one last time to the Lord, and I felt the presence of the Lord enter my room. And as he entered my room, he told me that he was going to send me somebody tomorrow that was going to share with me about who he is. And then you guys walked in. And as she's sharing the time frame of when this happened, a light bulb goes off in my head, and I realize that's the exact same time yesterday that the Lord told me, get on your knees and pray. Pray hard. Pray for this woman that I literally saw in a vision. And it was at that time that the Lord was also meeting with her. And I love that God truly just knew what he was doing in that moment. Obviously, he always does, but it's like this moment of, oh my gosh, you knew exactly what you were doing. You knew exactly who you were bringing in, the exact time, the exact day, like you knew what you were doing. And to think that I came in that morning with such a bad attitude, I didn't want to go, I didn't want to be there. But as she was sharing her story, so many of her recent events were also my recent events in life at that time. There were so many of her struggles that were also so many of my struggles recently in that time. And I was just so incredibly grateful that as hard as my testimony is, I'm constantly reminded that our testimonies, what had happened in our lives, aren't in vain. God doesn't cause all the bad things to happen, but God will certainly use all the challenging situations to show us, first of all, who he is, how he's been there, how he's loved us. And then secondly, for us to be able to use that to share with others. And so I felt like it was this moment of, I recently went through all of these things. You're in the middle of it. And now I get to grab your hand and we get to walk through this thing together, hand in hand. It was such an incredible and powerful experience, one that will stay with me forever. This woman then ended up coming to church with us multiple times. We got to know her throughout our time there that month, and just really got to love on her, bless her, pour into her. And by the end of our time there, as we had said goodbye to her, her whole demeanor was different. That first day, she came out all disheveled. Like you could see just the weight that she was bearing in her life. At the end of our time there, as we got to hug her and love on her and pray for her and say goodbye, there was this weight that had been lifted off of her. She was all of a sudden filled with joy, filled with life. She had the most incredible and beautiful smile. And I pray that wherever she's at today, that she still remembers every single thing that God has done in her life. I'll throw this out there as a disclaimer. The ministry we were with said like we weren't allowed to exchange contacts and stuff like that. It was part of their rules at that time in that country for safety for everybody. And so unfortunately, I don't know where she's at today or what's going on with her, but I know that our Father does. And I take so much comfort in that, knowing that God knows exactly what's going on with her. God is continually walking with her. Like literally, God loves her so much that he brought a bunch of people from like other countries into her village, into a small village in rural East Africa to meet with her in that moment. A bunch of Mzungus came in and said, God loves you. And she literally said, I've been waiting for you. Like I've literally been waiting all day for you to come. And I just think about how cool that is, that God is so intentional in that way, that he spoke to her. He moved us to go into that place. He moved us to go and knock on that door. He moved her heart to say, yes, I will receive these people into my home, even though I don't know them, and share with them the deepness of my heart so that God can minister to me. Like it still blows my mind, even to this day, like 15 years later, just how incredibly intentional our Father is. My only regret of that day is that I wish I would have showed up with a better attitude to start off with. I wish I would have been so excited to go out and do ministry. But at the same time, I'm thankful for that story because it reminds me every day, like, Angela, today could be a day that somebody else is praying for and you get to be a part of that. Show up. Show up and give it your all. Even if it feels mundane, even if you're doing things that it's like, man, I don't want to be here. You know, maybe your story is I'm stuck in a 9-to-5 job that I don't want. Maybe your story is like I'm in school and I'm just, I'm barely making it by and it's frustrating. But it's this reminder of constantly show up and give it your all. Because who knows how God is going to use it? I didn't know how God was going to move that day. I didn't know how that was going to impact my life. I didn't know how it was going to impact this woman's life. I didn't know how it was going to impact our team's life. Like it was just such an amazing and incredible experience. And I pray that you get to have these experiences too. I'm not a special person in the sense of I'm so holy and I get to have these encounters. Absolutely not. I'm just a regular girl living her life with Jesus. And I think we can all be like that. We can be people that are just living our lives with Jesus and that we see him move all the time. And I think that's truly my prayer in this season for believers especially, is just that we would see God move because we are ready to participate in what he has for us. Because I know, it makes me really sad to hear people say like, yeah, like I just go to church and like that's my experience with the Lord. I'm like, there is literally so much more, from the quiet, intimate space with him to worshiping and praying to ministering to other people. Like there's literally so much that God has for us, and he desires an active relationship with us. And so I hope that this encourages you today. I hope that there's an area for you that you're like, yeah, I can see how God does these things, or I've seen it in my life. Like, hey, if you have had a cool experience with the Lord, like I'd love to hear your testimony below. Like drop it in the comments, because truly that ministers to my heart, and I know it ministers to other people's hearts too. When we get to read the stories of what God is doing in and throughout the world, be bold and courageous to share your testimony, share it with other people, encourage them in their walks with the Lord, or even to start a walk with the Lord. It refreshes my soul, honestly, to be able to share these testimonies with you guys, because I love what God has done, and I love what God is continuing to do. So that was 3 Minute Thursday. I definitely know, even if I'm not like looking at my clock, like I'm way past 3 minutes, and it's totally fine. One of these days we will hit it, but I hope this testimony encouraged you today, and I can't wait to catch you in the next one.